Okay, so hello everyone, this is Providencia, and it is 12 p.m. now. I usually do not cook this early, but considering that I really want to edit a lot of videos this week, and I've been changing kind of like my schedule around since the kids started school, and I've been trying to do everything early, go to bed early, go to sleep early, and all that other good stuff. That's why I decided to cook early. Right now I'm having coffee because I am starving. I have not, I always skip breakfast. So, um, yeah. So I always skip breakfast. So I'm just gonna have coffee and I'll just wait for dinner. I know that's not good to do. I know you gotta eat, but I just don't have an appetite. That's the truth. Okay, so while I drink my coffee, I wanted to tell you real quickly what I'm gonna make for dinner today. I'm gonna make chicken cutlets. I'm gonna season it up and I'm gonna add flour to it. I'm gonna make white rice. I'm gonna make beans. I don't know what kind of beans because I gotta look through my pantry to see what kind of beans I have. I have some avocado, so I'm definitely gonna have avocado slices. And I don't know if I wanna have either sweet plátanos, which is plantains, or just plátanos. I gotta send my son to the store when he comes out of school, my older son, to see what they have in the store. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna make today. Now, I know you typically see these type of dishes all the time on my channel, and I haven't been bringing anything new to my channel as far as recipes. My kids just started school, okay, so now I could work on recipes and all that good stuff. But the truth is, I really wanna put all of my pre-recorded videos into my channel before I bring in new stuff in my channel. I do have a lot of recipes in store. I want to make lasagna. I want to make stuffed shells. I want to make relleno de papas, which is the potatoes balls. I don't know how to say that in English. Oh Jesus, you know what I mean. And like I said, I have a whole bunch of recipes, brand new recipes in store. So if you're watching and you always watch my channel, bear with me. The good stuff is coming soon. It's just that, I wanna add all my pre-recorded videos first into my channel, and then I'll start doing the other recipes. Yeah, so that's that. Also today I'm gonna work with what I have because I do gotta go food shopping either tomorrow or the next following day. I don't know. So I'm gonna work with what I have. And yeah, I just felt like whipping out my camera and just bringing you in my kitchen today and showing you what I work with, but still I could make a delicious meal with whatever little ingredients that you have in your house. So I'm gonna drink this coffee off camera and I'm gonna show you how I season my meat next. So I have my chicken here, nice and washed. These are chicken cutlets. I am gonna slice them up. I'm gonna show you that real quick. But I just wanted to show you my seasonings. I have a whole bunch from the top to the bottom. I think in the last apartment though, I think I had way more. I gotta step up my game. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what I did the other day. I have this right here, and these are mostly all the spices that I use for my cooking. So I could just whip it out, take it out, and voila. This is the little thing from when you buy the soups, the ramen soups. And I was just like, Let me put all of the ingredients that I always use into here. For that way I don't always have to go and make a big mess looking through all of this until I figure out another way, you know, to organize and my stuff, you know. So just in case anybody want to do this, you know, if you have a lot of spices, I mean, you could just put it into something like this, or a little box, or if you want, you could buy one at the Dollar Tree and just put all the seasonings that you mainly use. That way you could just pull it out. And then if you want to use any other spices, like for a different recipe that it calls for, then you look through your stuff. So just wanted to share that with you. So let's close that up. I do not know what seasonings I'm gonna use, but most likely it's the same old, same old. So I am gonna put this to the side right now. Let me put this back on the tripod. Give me a minute. Okay, I already got my seasonings. Let me push this to the side. And hold on. I need olive oil. Okay. And as I'm cooking, I'll show you what I'm putting into the chicken or whatever, okay? All right, so how many chicken cutlets I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. And before I make these chicken cutlets, I am going to clean it out a little bit, because I don't want no chicken cutlets that it's not okay, that has a lot of like little fat and stuff like that. So I usually just cut it out, and these little fat right here, see all of that? Wish I could have someone literally recording me as I'm doing stuff like this so I could show it to you guys. Like so quiet. My kids are in school. My nephew is still here. He goes back home tomorrow, if you've been watching my videos. But it's just so quiet. He's still sleeping. It's weird to be like in the house with no sounds. Alright, so I cleaned out whatever I can. And now you want to put your hands pressed down like this. Make sure you be careful with the knife though. Go slowly. In case, you know, you are touching the knife, you can stop. Hold on, more fat. Alright, and I'm going to press down with the knife. Cut as you're pressing down very slowly, for you could make your slices. Alright, and we like ours very thinly sliced. Okay, so out of a chicken cutlets, I think, like, to me, I could get 3 all the time. And it feeds my whole family, and you're saving. Okay, so, and voila. So let me put that to the side. So, as you can see, I got 3 nice slices. Now, the little ones, most likely, I will always give to, like, the kids, and I'll give them, like, a couple of pieces. For it could look like chicken fingers, like, and then, like, these big ones, I'll give it to, like, me, my oldest son, or anybody that's in my house that's an adult. So, I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then I'll show you how to season these. Okay, so my meat is nice and clean. My bowl is clean. My station is clean. You know, I always clean up. Also, let me move this a little bit. I hope there's no water dripping. Okay. You want to go and put your meat in something like this. all right? Because when you clean it afterwards, you want to put your meat in here and just let it sit in the sink for at least most of the water could come out, all right? So, so let me clean this out. And I'm gonna put the meat in here. Okay. And look at how pretty these nice slices are. See, this is a small one. You see, I will give this one to my kids. I'll give them a few, of course. All right. Make sure you clean your meat so you can have nice, pretty slices. All right. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, let me move this a little bit. And I hope you don't mind, I'm going to have the water just a little on, just so I could keep cleaning my hands, because I hate to have dirty hands. Like after touching meat and all that stuff, I have to constantly rinse. It's a bad habit I have. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is add some extra virgin olive oil. This is the one that I have. Or you could use any one that you have on hand. And this is just to make sure all the seasonings stick nicely on the meat. Alright. Okay. Onion powder. Oregano. Adobo, and make sure you don't add too much of this, because if you add too much of this, you know, you could make it too salty. Just add just enough to see, you know, to make it taste good, but don't go crazy. Garlic powder and cumin. It says comino because that's in Spanish, but it's cumin, ground cumin. Just a little bit, not a lot, okay? That's it. And with your clean hands, you want to mix this all up. I have this bowl here. And also I have like this casserole kind of dish like, all right? Now, please, I'm gonna let you know right now, make sure that your dish is clean, of course. You already know that. But once you, like, let's say if you wash it at that moment, get a napkin and make sure it's like dry, okay? That way you don't have to really wet the flour or none of that stuff. Okay, and I have here some all-purpose flour. Now I am gonna go and put some in here, and I'm gonna season the flour as well. Okay, I don't know how much flour I added, but if I had to guess, maybe like a cup to a cup and a half. It all, you know, it all depends how much chicken cutlets you have. I have 6, which as you saw, I cut them into slices, and I ended up getting 3 apiece for each chicken cutlets. I am gonna use 1 packet of sazon, just to add a little color to to the flour. Sorry, I got a little tongue twisted there. I am gonna add just a little bit of adobo, but not too much because I already add some sazon, and sazon, you know, has a little salt in there, and I just added this to my meat. But I just want to add just a little bit more. That's it, just a sprinkle. Don't go crazy now. I'm gonna add some black pepper. You can add as little or as much as you want. It all depends on your taste. Garlic powder. I know we added garlic powder to our chicken, but yeah. By the way, with this recipe, it is better that you use powdered garlic rather than, like, let's say chopped garlic or minced garlic. You know, I'm all about fresh garlic when it comes to your food and fresh herbs and all that other stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, if you use like regular, like minced garlic or your own garlic paste or whatever, it will go all over the oil, and while you're still frying all the other ones, it'll burn your oil. Like, you'll see a whole bunch of black little dots, and basically you know, because it's there, you know, it's while you fry, of course, some of that garlic is gonna come out of your chicken, and while you're frying all the other ones that was left in the oil, it's gonna keep burning, turning black. Your oil is gonna be black, and then your other chicken cutlets is not gonna be pretty. It's just no good. So use powdered garlic for this. I know what I'm talking about. All right, and some parsley flakes. Because I'm telling them.
What does the way the food looks supposed to do with the taste? You said it's not gonna look pretty.
It's not gonna look pretty because when you put like a raw garlic in oil, it turns black. It burns. It's then you're gonna bite it and eat a freaking burnt up garlic. That's why they got to use the powder. Yeah, you don't understand. You don't know. You don't know about this life. One day you'll know. One day you'll know. Okay. So here it looks. Okay, in case you don't get to see it. Sorry that my camera sucks. I've been having problems with the editing program that it shows I record it with my iPhone and it shows real clear as I'm recording it, but while it edits and it uploads and stuff like that, it comes out a little blurry for some reason. I don't know why. And sometimes my food don't look the same way as it is when I recorded it. So sorry for that. Make sure you really mix it really well, okay? The reason why I'm tasting it just a little bit, just to see if it's seasoned a little bit better. And to me, I feel like it needs more adobo. I know it just doesn't feel like it has any like kind of salt or anything. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Please taste as you go, you know. I tell you guys this all the time because I don't measure. I taste and I go. And I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. Yeah, that's it. See, now it has a little flavor, which is great. Alright, so we got our chicken cutlets here. I have my casserole dish here. How I'm gonna do this. Let me just show you how I put everything together. I'll put the chicken, which you can see that's nice and seasoned. I'll put it in the back. I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera, okay? Just to show you. Alright, so first you want to go and take your chicken cutlets. Alright. Okay, and then you want to dip it in your flour. Let me see if I could take this off. Alright, this is much better, just to show it to you. Okay, make sure you coat it very, very good everywhere. Sorry if I'm not doing good with holding the camera, I'm not a pro. Okay, and let me see if it's good on the other side. Alright, good. So then you want to go like this. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's do it again. Just shake off whatever excess or flour, and you place it right here. Let's do one more, okay? And just work with one hand. That way you don't have to dirty up your other hand in case you need it. Alright, so shake it up and nicely put it right here. Okay, so we are gonna do this. I'm gonna do this off camera, and then I'll show you how it looks afterwards. So they're all floured. Look at how pretty this looks. Okay, and now look, this is what's left over from the flour. Not bad. I mean, I thought I was gonna have to use more, make another, you know, whole batch, but I did it. So with this flour, I'm gonna just sprinkle some on the top and on the edges. All right, because we're not gonna fry these now. We're gonna fry these when the beans and the rice is almost done, because this fries rather quickly, like in a few minutes. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for now until it's time to fry up. I just wanted to season them now for it, you know, for it could be nice and seasoned by the time I'm gonna fry them. So I'm done with this. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. This is what's left over out of the flour. So about, yeah, a cup and a half, a cup to a cup and a half, depending on how much chicken cutlets you're making. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then we're gonna then we're gonna start off with the beans. I have here some peppers. You could choose any pepper of your choice. I wish I had red, but I don't have. So I'm using red, green, and orange. Okay. And I have here some cilantro that I washed. I got here potatoes. I used 3. And I have here a red onion. I wish I had the white onion, but like I said, I'm working with what I have. So let's go to the stove and start making our beans. So I have it on medium low, okay? And I'm gonna add just like a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And like I said, I'm working with what I have, so bear with me. But my stuff is still gonna taste good, I tell you. Still gonna taste yummy. I have here some sofrito. Now, this is just a blend of different, you know, herbs and all that other good stuff. If you want to know how to make this, there will be a link below for you could just see how I made this. It's called sofrito, and Spanish people or Puerto Ricans basically, we use it for cooking, for our rice, beans, meat. We season our food a lot with this, so you really should learn how to make this. So I'm gonna add, I gotta make more, and I definitely gotta make extra for my older sister. She wants me to make her some. I like a lot. I mean, if you want to just add 2 tablespoons, you could only add that, and you know, and stuff. But me, I really like that flavor in my beans. So yeah, I put it a little bit higher just for it to start tinkling. And I also have here some olives. Now this is optional. A lot of people don't really like olives in their food. I love olives, especially like in stews, spaghettis, beans. So it's up to you. I'm adding 1 tablespoon because I'm only making 1 can of beans. If I was making 2 cans of beans, I would add more. So all right, let me put this a little higher because I want this to start, you know, cooking. Adobo. Do not add a lot of this. Please do not. You know, you could always add a little bit later on if you feel like it needs like a little bit of salt, but don't add too much. Just go over it like that. Just a little like twinkle, basically. Onion powder. And even though we're adding like a nice chunk of onion, as you saw it right now, it's just for the for more flavor. Okay. Yeah, it's not coming out for some reason. Parsley flakes. Garlic powder. I also have different beans recipes in my Latin cooking playlist. Check those out because I go in with the beans. I'm just working with what I have today. But if you want to make, you know, want to add more stuff to your beans, just check out that playlist. Also, I am gonna make some videos of this plate that I did the last time. I'm gonna add a picture right now. Okay, so yeah, I made some Dominican pollo guisado. I made white rice. I made these white beans. Oh my God, it was off the chain. Okay, I wrote everything down and I was like in a mood to cook, and I had everything to make it that particular day, and everyone was like, how do you make this? How do you make that? How do you make that? How do you do this? Also macaroni salad. I also made that and everybody was hitting me up. How do you do it? You're going to do a recipe on it? So I'm going to make that whole plate, but I am going to do each and everything that's on that plate into separate videos, okay? But I will definitely, probably like in 2 weeks from now, I'm definitely gonna do the macaroni salad, the Dominican pollo guisado, the white beans, everything that you see on that plate, okay? So I'm just letting you know. Sorry, I just had to tell you that. Okay, so garlic powder. As little or as much as you want. Okay. Also, I'm gonna add just a little bit of cumin, not too much. Ooh, okay, that was a little heavy. We're gonna also add some of this, and this is ham, but in like in a powder form, jamon, just to flavor up your beans. Now the beans that I just showed you now in the picture, the white beans, I definitely, this is drying up. Let me go and put it low because and then it's not gonna be good. Let me hurry up and add this, and then I'll tell you what I want to tell you. So we're gonna add 2 packs of this. I'm also gonna add all of my little veggies and stuff. So as I was saying, the picture that you just saw, my white beans, I added real ham to it. I guess that's why it tasted so good. So if you got real ham, you could use it here. Just cut them into cubes, you know, and just use it. I'm gonna also add my pink beans. See how there's still some in here? I'm not sure if you can still see it because, you know, the camera makes it look like as if you can't see it. Hold on. The phone. Okay, so I am so sorry, but I ended up picking up the phone for my mom when I had put the beans in there, and I thought I was recording me you know, adding the water and stuff like that, but I didn't. So it's not much to it. You just add, after you add the beans, like you just saw in the last clip, you add 2 of these, fill it up with water 2 times, fill it up to the top, and you throw it in there, right? And you also add 8 ounces of tomato sauce, and that's it. Okay, so let me put this on high. It's just that I was talking to my mom and I didn't want it to, like, you know, bubble up basically cook into, like I spoke to, until I finished speaking to my mother. She had to talk to me about something important. So that's that. Simple. All right, just remember, after you add the beans, fill this up 2 times with water and add your tomato sauce. That's it. Oh, okay, wait a minute. All right, now next, this is what you're gonna want to do. You see this is sugar. I'm just gonna add just 1 tablespoon of sugar. Just fill up your spoon. Okay, just like that, and you add it to your beans. I know maybe it may be weird to you, but it actually balances the beans, and you know, it really tastes really good. Okay, so I'm gonna have this on medium high, and I'll be back. Okay, in the meantime, while the beans are cooking, I put a pot of water. I think this is a little bit too much water, but you know, I could always take out water if it's too much water for the rice. So, but I do want to make a lot of rice, so I'm gonna add some olive oil. Okay, and I'm gonna add some salt and let this come to a boil, and then I'm gonna add my rice. Alright, so I'm gonna let this come to a boil, and the beans is simmering a little bit, and then I'll show you everything next. Okay, so while the water is boiling from the rice and the beans are cooking, I want to make the brownies. Yes, I'm gonna make brownies from a box just for the kids can have some snack. And this is quick. I will fast forward all of this. I just wanted to show it to you. So let's go. This is on very high because for it could help thicken up. Once it's a little thick though, I am gonna put it on like low and just let it cook slowly. Alright, so and when you serve beans, you don't have to serve all of this. This is just for flavor. Alright, you just try to go around it or just take it out. When it's almost done, you could take all of that out and just discard it, you know, if you want, and just give them clean beans. Alright, so let's go and look at the bottom. Wait, let me get a bigger spoon so I could really dig in there. This is my rice spoon, but we ain't at the rice yet, so I like to scrape out like any little things around the beans. Alright, so it still needs to be done, but it is thickening very nicely. Okay, and yeah, the potatoes, just by looking at it, since I know about food, I could tell that it's not done. This still needs way more time, like at least another 20 minutes. But I am gonna lower it down at this point, okay, to let it cook nice, because it's already look like it's getting nice and thick. By the time it'll be like 20 minutes, it'll be more thicker. Alright, and if it's not, just put it up a little high and it'll get thick again. So the beans is looking great. I am gonna get a spoon. Well, I'll just use this spoon. I won't double dip though. Even though it's my family, like for real. Tastes very good. I'm not gonna add anything to this. Alright, so I am gonna clean a little bit of dishes there, and then we're gonna do the rice. And I'm gonna have this on low, and we'll go to the rice next. Okay, so it's boiling. Now I think this is just rather too much water, but like I eyeball everything. Oh my goodness, I'm making mad mistakes today. Oh my goodness. Alright, hold on. Okay. Alright, hold on. Alright. So I have this much rice. No measurements. Because you know me, I eyeball everything. This was a little bit wet. I just washed it. That's why some of the rice is sticking. Okay. Alright. Put that there because I got a cup here for I could pour some water back out. I eyeball my rice, okay? And I don't really cook a lot of rice like I used to, like before, like in my first videos on YouTube, because I'm recording. Because you know, I don't have, besides my kids, I don't have like, let's say, a significant other to cook for. But I still cook for my kids and stuff like that, but my kids don't really eat like a lot of rice like that, you know? So I'm gonna take out some water because this is way too much. You want a lot of water, but enough to cover the rice, but not way too much, because if you put too much, what's gonna happen is it's gonna end up being like mogayao. How do I say that in English? Like sticky, nasty, disgusting rice. I am gonna reserve just a little bit of water though, just in case I do need more. Let me put this to the side. All right, and you want enough rice. You see how it is right here? You see that you can see just a little bit of the rice, you see? Just, you can see a little bit of the rice, but there's enough water in there. You don't want too much water in there, is what I'm saying. At least, yeah, I can't explain the size of rice. I'm still trying to decide if I should do a separate video on this because I eyeball my rice. I've done it for years. But just make sure that you could just see the rice a little bit, you know, from where it's at. See? You can still see it. If it's just drowning in there with water, take some water out. So you want to go and let this come to like, you know, like you want to put this on high. Let it come to like, make sure it dries up. But while it's drying up, from time to time, I'll show you, you know, with your spoon, scrape out the bottom for that way it don't be too sticky in the bottom. It's going to stick in the bottom. Of course, it always does. Rice always sticks at the bottom of any pot. But you don't want too much. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to discard this water and I'll be back. That's what you want to do. While it's drying up, scrape out the bottom. So it don't have to be like too sticky in the bottom. And the side, of course. I hope you're watching this. Okay. Sorry, the water's on. I'm cleaning my green beans. I decided to do green beans at the last moment. So bear with me. Alright, so hold on. Let me just turn that off. The little bit of water I reserved, which was less than a half a cup, I'm just going to add it in there, okay? And okay, so clean up a little bit here. All right, put it right in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna lower it down to like to low heat. I am gonna add aluminum foil. This helps it cook better and faster. I'm getting the lid. Okay, it was a little mission, but I found it. Alright, so I'm gonna add the top to this. And make sure you seal it real good. Like I said, we're gonna do the chicken last. Right now, let's do our green beans, okay? Let me see how the beans are doing since I'm here now. Let's check up on the beans. I got a pot of water over there because I'm gonna cook my green beans for like 3 to 5 minutes. And then we're gonna take it out, shock them with cold water, and then cook them again. I'll show you everything. Let me take out the little thingies. Alright, so. Whoa. Okay, it's looking real nice. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare of the... Okay, so this is turning out great. The potato still needs to cook a little bit longer because it's not like really soft, the potatoes. Just by looking at them I could tell, but it looks fantastic. So we're gonna let this cook for a little while, and we're gonna start the green beans next. So I have some green beans here, and I didn't want to cook this, but I've had it for a few days and I don't want it to get old. That's a big problem that I do have. You guys may think because I stir it up, and you'll be seeing a lot of pictures on social media and on YouTube that vegetables and food don't get old in my house. You're wrong. You have no idea how many times I have bought stuff and I have said, oh, I'm gonna cook it this day, and then I never do it, and then it gets old. You have no idea how much food I've thrown away, and that's something I really want to stop doing. So I got my vegetables here. I might as well do the whole thing. I'm gonna do the whole thing. I like to cut off the tips. You don't have to, but I like to. I don't know, should I leave it on? Or, you know what, I'll probably just leave the tips on today because I'm not in the mood to go the extra mile. Alright, so you know what? I'm not gonna cut the tips on this. You can if you want to, like the ugly ones. If you want to, just go through them, see which one. If they're like too long like this, you see how this one is? Let me see if I could show it to you. If it looks like this, then you could just, you know, just break it off or whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna cut none of these green beans. I'm just going through them though, just to see if there's any like ugliness. Like you see this one, I will just cut off a little bit of it. Now usually if you are like a subscriber that watches my videos, you will know I always cut the tips, you know. I just don't like it, but I really want to finish early today. So I'm just gonna clean these out. Wait a minute, I see another one. Alright. I'm just gonna clean these out. Rinse them out real good, even though I'm gonna put them in nice boiling hot water. I'm gonna cook it for 3 to 5 minutes. I did salted the water a little bit so it can have some flavor. Then we're gonna quickly put them into cold water to shock them. What you're really supposed to do is shock them with cold water in a bowl, but with ice in it. That's how you like shock the vegetables and stop the cooking process. But I do it with cold water. Okay, it ain't hurting nobody, and I always do it that way. So then I'm gonna put it back into the pot, and I'm gonna cook it with EVOO with some garlic powder. If I would have had real garlic, that I would have definitely used here today. Fresh garlic for this because it tastes so good with fresh garlic. So if you have fresh garlic, use it. And I'm gonna also add some red pepper, salt and pepper, red pepper flakes, and some chopped onions. Anyway, I'll show it to you. Let me clean these up. Alright, so let's bring this to the stove. Okay, so you see the pot boiling, and I'm just gonna add this in there. And look at how nice and vibrantly green it turns when you do this step, okay? Oh, I love when it just changes colors from dull to like a bright green. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. I love cooking. Okay, so let it do its thing. I'm gonna let it cook for like 3 minutes. Okay, the beans are getting a little thick, so I am gonna lower this really low, like really simmer low, because I don't want it to cook too much, that all that nice juice and broth evaporates. Don't be hating because I know how to talk. Let's put this on. Okay, so, okay, well, I'm not showing the rest of the stuff. Hold on. I got this all wrong over here. By the way, my kids been come out of school. I know I started cooking early, but just in case you hear noise, ya tu sabe, my kids are here. So, we're gonna use, you know what, I'll just show you when I'm doing it. That way the video don't have to be so, well, it's gonna be long, but anyway. Alright, so you're gonna definitely need a red onion, so let's cut this baby up. Depends how much onions you want. You could cut them into little small cubes. I'm gonna have them nice and like in long little strips. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing spam that I had left over from yesterday in the refrigerator. I'm really thinking, since this is a come cook with me video, is whatever goes, you know. I go with the flow up in here. And I just opened up my refrigerator, even though I've been opening it up all freaking day. And I just realized right now that I still have 4 more slices of Spam from yesterday left. So I'm like, I don't want it to go to waste. And I was just talking about wasting food. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use it up. Let me see how many is here. Well, there's more than 4. There's 6. But you know what? Who cares? Alright? I'm going to use it. Alright? I'm going to push that to the side. This has nothing to do with the green beans. Okay? I'm going to add this to my beans. Alright? You know what? I'm going to do it into big pieces. And I know it's the last minute. If you do have like ham or like Spam or even salami or whatever, not salami from the deli, like the salami that comes like in that big tube and stuff, if you have some left over, put it in the beginning of the cooking process of the beans, because you don't want to, you know, that way it could have some flavors to your beans, even though my beans are flavorful. But I'm going to add this to the beans for it could just be extra, you know what I'm saying, just extra. So let's go over here. I know y'all like back and forth, yang yang, and I have it on very low. So like I said, this is a last minute thing. I should have added it earlier. I should have seen it or realized it earlier. But since we still got like at least a good 15 maybe minutes or 20 minutes more till the rice is done and all that stuff, you know, might as well put it in there. It'll be nicely cooked by then with the beans and everything. Alright, so far this is what we have. And I added the beans. Wow, it just like looks even extra better with the beans. I mean with the Spam in there. Look at this. Let me put the camera close. Hold on. Yeah, so this is even better. Nice ham and the potatoes. Not ham, Spam. Oh my god. Sorry. The potatoes is done, most definitely. It's not like soft. I like my potatoes nice and soft and real soft. But it is done. Okay. So I have it on very low. Like I said, I don't want to lose none of that nice juice. So yeah. So let's do the green beans next. So we got our pot, and I need to cook this in here and then transform it into like a pan because I need this stove. The other pot is too wide for me to cook something on the other side. I need to fry the chicken here. I know it makes no sense. I know you guys don't understand, but I know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Some extra virgin olive oil. Enough, like maybe like 3 tablespoons for the green beans. The onion. You want that to cook a little bit first, you know? So, gotta add that. Some crushed red pepper. Add as little or as much as you want, depending on how you like your food. Garlic powder. Like I said, if you have fresh garlic, crushed red garlic, oh my god, crushed like or minced garlic or your own garlic, mash that up. I mean, I love garlic. I would use like 3 big cloves of it, or maybe even 4, but it's up to your liking. I think fresh garlic will be excellent in this recipe, okay? So, but since I'm working with what I got, garlic powder it is, and I can add as little or as much as I want because it don't have no sauce. And pepper, as little or as much as you want. It's up to your liking, and salt. Don't put too much. If you want, you can add more later. Hold on. I'm gonna mix this around. That looks so good right now. I'm not going to taste it because I want this to cook for at least a good 5 minutes. Okay? Let me put it a little bit more higher. I'm going to let this cook for another, like 5 minutes. And I want to give you a close-up. Hold on. Oh my god, you would have fresh garlic, or I would have had it because I'm the one that's cooking it. Delicious. So do it with real garlic, okay? I'm not saying it's not going to probably not taste good with the powder garlic, but the real garlic, wow. So that would have really been good with this. But anyhow, I'm working with what I got. I'm going to show you the rice. Let's put this back on the camera. And let's turn this around. Okay. You can smell this kitchen is, whoo, we're talking about brownies, beans, everything. You smell it, which this is gonna turn off in a minute, the brownies. So So if you hear a noise, you already know. Oh, look at that water. I'm scared. Because you don't want to burn yourself. Oh, that smoke come out. Turn that off. Alright. I just hope it's not falling on the oil, because then that oil is going to be popping left and right. Alright, so let's move this around. This is a lot of rice. But I'm giving some to my old neighbor. My son is bringing a friend over here. I don't know what's gonna happen with my plantains, because this food is almost done. If he doesn't come no time soon, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the plantains. And I really wanted sweet plantains with all of this. Oh, I should have went to the store earlier, but no. This still needs at least another at least maybe 7 minutes more. Alright. So I'm gonna put the top right back on. That right there. And I'm going to take the brownies out. And also the green beans. And I'm going to start my chicken next. Okay, so I'm going to put the green beans in there. And let me tell you, I tasted one. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't gotta add nothing, no salt, no nothing. It's just, so good. So all that goodness in there. I didn't make a lot of this because I'm not gonna lie. The only one that really likes this is like me and my older son. You know, my kids are a little picky. They're young. They don't know about that kind of life. But oh my God, look at this. Look at that. Dios mío. Okay, so let's do the chicken cutlets next. I don't know if we're gonna do the sweet plantains because my son still haven't come. I'm gonna text him right now to see if he's near. If he is, then I'll see if I could still make it and just wait for him to come back from the store and just quickly do it, because I really want the sweet plantains where I could just fry it once. I don't think I want to deal with frying regular plátanos twice. I just want just the sweet plantains, and that's it. So the brownies is done. I'm gonna show you that like later on tonight because it's still hot, and I don't like to mess with cakes when they're real hot. You gotta wait till your cake is nice and cooled, and then you slice it up and everything, because it will fall apart if you try. Anyhow, let's go to the stove and let's fry these chickens up. Okay, so we're up to the end. Unless my son comes and buys me my plantains. I don't understand why my son does this to me. But anyway, I really wanted some plantains. Anyway, this is the way it looks. Alright. And let's put this. I'm gonna record the first time it frying, like the first fry, and then I'll do the rest off camera, okay? So, and don't worry if it looks like the flour didn't come out, okay? It's gonna look like a little orangey, but that's because of the sazon, okay? Oh my god, these chicken cutlets look good without even it being fried. Straight up. And they are gonna stick a little bit to each other, but that's okay. Alright, so let me put this here. And I have a plate with some napkins. I know y'all like, this is napkins. Yes, it is. Look, I just opened one up for, for I don't have to, whatever. So make sure you have a napkin, so when you take it out, you put it on paper towels or napkins. Make sure it drains out the rest of the oil. Alright, so put this here for now. Alright, so when you fry this, don't move it around too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it do its thing. If you want to check up on it, just lightly, take a looky. To me, it's not a nice color, so I'm gonna leave it in there even longer. Like, to me, I feel like it'll fry on each side, like maybe 4 minutes on the first side and maybe 3 the next side. The first side always takes a little longer than the second time you flip it, okay? That doesn't look good for you, then you got a serious problem. Because right now, that's everything. Right now. Okay. So I'm going to do the rest off camera. I'm hoping that my son gets in contact with me. If not, I'm just going to show you the final dish. Oh my God. You know I had to sample one. You know I had to sample one. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, it's so good and flavorful. It's hot. Oh my God. It's so good. Crispy on the outside, nice and soft, tender in the inside. OMG. This is so good. It's hot. Oh my God. Anyway. Sorry I'm eating with my mouth open. Okay. I just had a moment. Anyway, I'm going to send my neighbor some food. And this is how I do it. This is how Ovi rocks, okay, when she serves people food. I always have these type of plates in my house, takeout plates, because you never know who's going to want to eat some of your food or you're going to give some away. So this is how I'm going to do it. Put their food there. I still got to make more chicken cutlets, so there's a lot more left. And I'm going to serve them food in here, and then I'm gonna have them pick it up. That's my old neighbor from my old building. Every time I had leftover food, it went straight to them, and they loved it. So now they pick it up in my house. They will go the extra, okay, not the extra mile, but it's a figure of speech, but they live a little close. They will go the extra mile just to come over here and pick it up, okay? So, just saying. I don't think I'm going to make fried plantains because my older son is talking about that he's still hanging out with his friends. I really wanted some plantains. Oh, thank goodness I made the green beans at least. But anyhow, it is what it is. We're working with what we have. But if you want, make it with some sweet plantains. This dish will go complete with sweet plantains. So anyhow, I guess I'm going to show you the final dish next. Okay, sorry the water is on. My son is washing his dish, but here's the plate. Here it is. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Right there. You can make this if you follow this video. Guaranteed. Make anybody happy with this dish. So let's go. Now, let's not go next to the shop. Alright, here we go. We got the chicken cutlets here. Nice and seasoned. Like this ate twice. I still haven't ate. Because I'm washing clothes in between too. Oh, I need a break. Anyhow, some limes. Oh, lemons. Oh, I get confused with the two. I like to squeeze lemon on my meat. Some white rice. Nice and fluffy. The beans. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Avocado. Oh, that's my son on his iPhone while he's eating his food. Oh, he's bugging. And of course the green beans. So this is the dish. It would have been nice still. I still say, even though there's a lot of things going on in this plate, I'm still gonna say I wish I had some sweet plantains. Oh yes. But it's totally up to you. Okay, so this is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Share, like, and subscribe. I've been telling you guys, share my videos. The more shares, the more subscribers. The more subscribers, the more I push myself to keep doing videos for you guys. Yep, that's how it is. So take care, God bless, and I really hope that you make this in the comfort of your own kitchen. Take care, God bless, and have a good week. Bye.